The main theme of the exhibition or focus of the exhibition is on the idea of collaboration. And so a lot of the print projects in the ephemera that we show reflects collaboration in different ways. And we also focused on the artist collectives. These were groups that were formed at the building that made artwork together for periods of time. And those 5 collectives are Sisters of Survival, Mother Art, Ariadne, a social art network, Feminist Art Workers, and the Waitresses.
This is the Mother Art installation. Mother Art did a lot of work in laundromats, so they've kind of recreated a sense of that through their photo montages and blow-ups. And this is a dryer in which they installed a video monitor, so you view the video about them. So Sisters of Survival, the anti-nuclear performance art group, had a project called End of the Rainbow, in which they networked with artists and activists from Western Europe and the United States.
This was a project led by Suzanne Lacey called 3 Weeks in May, and it was done in 1977, that looks at violence against women, and in particular rape. And she worked with city officials and other women's organizations and universities where self-defense classes were taught, and it was a really landmark project in terms of creating a structure for creating these large, multifaceted events that would take place this one took place over 3 weeks. This is a documentation that was actually made in 1978 of 2 performances that Leslie Labowitz-Starris and Suzanne Lacey worked on, called Record Companies Drag Their Feet and In Mourning and in Rage. And both were projects that did kind of a media analysis of women, how women are portrayed in the media. And In Mourning and Rage dealt with how the victims of the Hillside Strangler were being portrayed in the newspapers and on television. And Record Companies Drag Their Feet was looking at how women were portrayed by the record industry and looking at album covers.
I was the second one out of the hearse, and we each went up and said a line about why we were there. We were there for the 5,000 women that are molested every year, whatever it was. All the statistics came out, and we were all wearing big, tall hats and the highest shoes we could deal with, and we all looked really menacing and tall and powerful.
And this was a performance that was done at City Hall.
We all rode down from the Women's Building in the hearse, followed by women in the cars with, looking like a funeral procession. Drove around the City Hall a couple of times, and then the hearse stopped, and nobody knew what was going to happen, and we got out. And the big banner behind us where we were said, "In memory of our sisters, women fight back." And then there was a chorus of women from the Women's Building that were on the lawn, and they would repeat that.
And the whole presentation was designed in such a way that wherever a member of the media was, if they were filming it or shooting it, the banners were always in the back. It was very well thought out and orchestrated.
The feminist art workers used feminist pedagogy as a structure in their performance. They would travel, meet with women's centers and organizations, women's studies programs across the U.S., and they would organize performances where they could get other women involved and discuss issues, and using actually the kind of consciousness raising as a model where people get to speak and so forth.
The Waitresses were an artist collective that formed, I think it was in 76, 77. A lot of the women were waitresses at the building at a time when you could actually survive on a waitress salary. And they really looked at issues of the workplace.
The building was a place where you had a lot of activity going on, and there were lots of women that you could call upon to support the different projects. They'd show up and be in things and do things. So that was really the fun part.